Joining me now to discuss this case, former prosecutor and host of the True Crime News Sidebar podcast, Josh Ritter. Josh, thanks for being here. It's always good to see you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Sarah Boone is claiming that this is self-defense, but originally she said it was just an accident. We were playing a drinking game.
Well, her defense has now tried to combine self-defense with this idea of battered spouse or battered woman syndrome, and saying that because of this cycle of abuse that was taking place in that home, she was constantly in fear. But how do you explain that when you were speaking to police, both through that body cam and later on at the station, that you never mentioned this fear that you are now claiming was the overwhelming reason as to why you didn't spare this man's life? He was begging to be let out of that suitcase. She was the only one in a position to do anything about it, and she was laughing and videotaping him while it was happening.
Sarah. Stupid.
The fact that she videotaped it, and it's so disturbing, I can't imagine a jury having sympathy at that point.
A jury may view that it does look like an accident. On those same tapes, her voice also does appear to be very slurred. It sounds like someone who's heavily intoxicated.
Yeah, that's when you do when you choke me.
So there is this built-in defense of the idea that she may have just been too drunk and went to sleep, not realizing the dangerousness of the situation of leaving him in there. You could see a pathway where maybe a juror or two might buy into that theory, but that is certainly not the theory they're going into trial with.
A lot of things bother me about this case, but what really upsets me are these court shenanigans that Sarah Boone is distracting us with, when at the end of the day, there is a man who is dead and his family wants justice, and we don't talk about Jorge Torres Jr., we talk about Sarah Boone's antics today. And that's the part, I think, that is just really wearing thin.
You are absolutely right. So much of this case has been about her antics in court, her sparring with the judge. Very little of it has been about this man who basically was tortured to death. That's all going to change. The second that jury is sworn in, the second they start taking witnesses, it's going to be much more about Jorge Torres.
Thank you, Josh. Good to see you.
Good to see you.